yeah, why would I do a live with cats floating around my head with a background of space? Well, partially because it is what it is. The second thing is it catches your attention. So, if you're watching this in a little while, then you'll understand why, capturing attention is so important. Not just speaking about what you do in life, but in business and in marketing and branding and all that wonderful type of stuff. So basically just jumping on here quickly this evening to speak about the importance of having a well thought out, magical if you do it correctly, a well thought out social media ecosystem. What would I know about that? Why am I qualified to speak to you about that? Well, because I'm an expert on that. Did I ever take a course? No, never. Did I ever go to school for it? No, never. Have I got years and years and years and years of experience with it? Absolutely, 100%. Am I very, very good when it comes to organic growth, SEO, marketing, funnels, digital media, Facebook ads, growth on YouTube, laser precision search engine optimization within the YouTube algorithm and the Google algorithm, and basically being able to rank your videos on Google and on YouTube at the same time and being able to outrank views or videos with millions of views? Yes, I'm able to do that very, very well. Yes, MonsterCon Marketing, the marketing agency that I co-own, I am CEO and founder of it, also do that very well. So, what's the importance of having a well thought out, look at the cat, a well thought out social media ecosystem? What do I mean by that? Well, you've got a couple, right? Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever you want to say, right? There's a million. LinkedIn, all these different social media platforms. And on these social media platforms, you have to learn how to play them as a game. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. But there is a point to all of this, and the point is that if you don't understand how to play them, then you shouldn't be playing them. Or if you're with all your time and your energy and you want to do then it's cool. But if you need someone to help you with that, then basically what I would suggest is contacting myself or MonsterCon Marketing, and we can help you with that. This is not a sales pitch. This is just to give you some value. Yes, I have an agency. Yes, we do all that stuff. Wonderful. Am I trying to sell you anything in this video? Not really. No, I'm just letting you know that I have an agency, and that is why I'm able to speak from that place, understanding it. I didn't just build an agency. I've done this for years and then later built an agency. So, I had a lot of clients, and basically we did that. Then I came together with Daniel McSweeney, co-founder and CEO of MonsterCon Marketing. We came together earlier on this year and we launched MonsterCon Marketing. So yeah, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn, whatever platform you want to go with, right? Twitter, they're all games. Once you understand them, you already have an advantage. What do you need to do for someone beginning, starting out? What is the importance? Very simply, create a digital ecosystem, a spider's web, link every single platform together. Make sure that you are linking one thing back to the other all the time. Make sure that you're driving from every single platform to one main capture, that you are selling them into a funnel, or that you want to spread your message or whatever, right? That's really, really important to get that collective exposure from all platforms and drive that towards one place, whether that's a ManyChat bot from Facebook, whether that's, the link in the bio from Instagram. Make sure that you have that set up. If it's from underneath your YouTube video, right? A lot of people get this mistake and they think, oh, it's okay, it's fine, YouTube is dead. No, YouTube is not dead. You just do not know how to use it. YouTube's not dead. It's actually very, very well alive and kicking. And you can kill it on YouTube if you understand how to do that. A very good way, quick tip, make playlists on YouTube. Make sure that you have a funnel set up, and in those playlists, basically 5 or 10 videos in the playlist, right? That's fine. Hop on over to your Facebook business page, boom, put an ad. Hey guys, what's happening? If you know how to target people correctly. Hey guys, what's happening? Look at all these cats flying around. You think I'm crazy. I am crazy, but I'm very clever crazy. So it's how my marketing mind works. Basically, you run an ad from your Facebook business page, boom. Straight away, you tell them, hey guys, I've got 10 free videos for you on YouTube. Come on over and watch them. If your content is good enough, then by video 5 or 6, you'll be converting, because you will be telling them at the end of every video on YouTube, hey guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, turn on the bell for notifications, point up to the left. Then you go over here, and if you want to continue watching this playlist, click here. They click it, boom, they watch more of your playlist. The more they're registering, the more they're thinking, the more they're getting value from you, the more you're connecting with them. And then boom, the more that they will be associated with you, they will now be in your funnel, they will be on your email list, and you will be making lots of money. They will become clients for you. Right, so when you do that, what else can you do with that? Live streaming, right? It might sound simple, right? I'm live right now on Facebook. I really don't care. I really don't care. I'm just doing this to help you. And that's pretty much it. I'm just trying to give you some tips because I like to give back as well. One of the things is, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, yeah, they're all wonderful, right? But Facebook gets lost in the feed eventually. It's gone. Okay, so if you're not already downloading them, those videos, make sure you're downloading, make sure you're shooting in horizontal mode so that you can repurpose across all platforms: Twitter, Instagram TV, YouTube, Facebook business page, boom, 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 boom. Repurpose your content, rack it up, back it up, stack it up. Make sure that you are keeping your content, make sure you're repurposing it for podcasts, for whatever. All of this stuff you need to be doing, or you don't need to be doing. If you don't do it, then that's fine. If you do it, then you have a much better chance of reaching more people. Why so many coaches and business people fail? 100%, and I speak to them every single day. Why they fail is, number one, they give up. Number two, they started, but they weren't fully committed to the process. Number three, they started, they lost and spent so much money on magical ad campaigns that they thought were going to be totally awesome, that they ran themselves, but they hadn't got a clue what they were doing. And what happened? Then they failed because Facebook wasted their money. And the ad campaign went in the toilet. It wasted all the money. Boom, 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 boom. You might as well have been buying toilet paper, right? That's how it is. It wastes your money if you don't know how to run Facebook ads properly. So I'm on the Facebook platform speaking about this now, but the whole point is that you need to know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, then do not bother running Facebook ads, because you're only going to waste money. Yeah, you can do $5, $10 a day, whatever, but that would be better saved up and used on, for example, an Instagram influencer marketing campaign from the stories. Swipe up, boom, 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 close the traffic. Simple, right? Might sound simple. Anyway, that always connected together, always the ecosystem together, social media ecosystem connected, everything linked back, moving, interconnected, interwoven, so that you have a solid foundation to build upon. The house, or the man that built his house on sand, the winds came, the rains came, blew it away, washed it all away, and he was destroyed, gone, wiped out in the flood. The man who built his house on solid foundation, rock, the winds came, everything came, boom, 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 the house stood still. That is what you got to think about your social media ecosystem. At the very bottom, everything connected, really, really strong, and then build upon that. Build marketing campaigns upon that solid social media ecosystem. Then build the next one. Okay, the next one might be a bunch of funnels. The next one might be ads to get people into those funnels. The next thing might be, also have your product or whatever you're selling, your service or it doesn't matter, right? You need to have those all set up properly first and then launch a campaign. If you don't have the money to do that, then I would say start with organic reach, right? We are the masters of organic reach at MonsterCon Marketing. That's what we do. We do organic all day long. We can sell all day long. Are you DMing people? If you're a coach or somebody that is on social media, if you're not DMing people, I'm just saying, like, if you don't have money, you don't have ideas about what you're doing, then you need to be cold DMing. We have an army of cold DMers with MonsterCon Marketing that DM people all day. We get more clients through the cold DM on Instagram than we do from running ads. It's as simple as that. That is how you have to set it up in order to make revenue, right? It's very, very simple. And so once you have all these things in place, then you can move forward from that. Hello, Vinny. Greetings. Welcome. I'm out in space with cats. So to recap, basically having a solid ecosystem set up, having everything linked together, making sure that you're utilizing the live stream. If you're not utilizing the live stream, then it's a waste of time, right? Especially YouTube Live, right? Where people are like, oh my God, like I said at the start of this live, YouTube is dead. YouTube is not dead. It's just that you don't know how to use it. If your business or brand is there and you're kind of saying, yeah, well, I might go live on YouTube. Number one, if there's no SEO, search engine optimization, laser precision, if that's not done correctly, then you're screwed because you're not going to reach any people. How would you think that someone would search for something on YouTube? They would search by typing in a certain search term, right? They would say, hey, I'm going to look for how to bake a chocolate cake, right? For example, they might look for a YouTube video or a live stream, right? Generally, they're probably not going to look for a live stream on how to bake a chocolate cake. But if they wanted to bake a chocolate cake, then they probably would search for that search term, right? So what I was saying, in MonsterCon, we basically rank your video in Google and in YouTube for that specific search term. So if you were going live, then you would want to understand what you are ranking for. You would want to understand how to rank the live stream while you are going live so that you can reach more people. And then afterwards, once the video has been finished on the live, you want to make sure that it's still reaching people. So whoever searches for that search term is still finding your video. That's how you amp up. That's how you get more and more momentum. And that is how you sell from YouTube all day long. YouTube is digital real estate. The link under the video on YouTube, whatever one you put there, I wouldn't recommend putting 150 links there to take them off to different places if you're a smaller YouTuber. The reason I say that is because basically YouTube doesn't like you taking people off the platform the same way as Facebook doesn't like you taking people off the platform, the same way as Twitter wants to keep you on the platform. Every platform wants to keep you on the platform because that's the way they make money. It is what it is. That's how it works. So YouTube, why is it digital real estate from here on out into the future? Very, very simple. Because when you have a video there that's clocking 10 million views over 4 years or 1 year or 2 months, for example, then the link under that video, let's say you have a course that's valid for this year, but after, next year, the course is no longer valid. You can still wipe out that link. You can still put your link for your course in there, your new course, and then what can you do? You can sell from that same thing by having that traffic flowing through onto that video. So, but again, it has to be properly SEO'd from the start. Are you using hashtags? If not, you're losing. Losing. You need to use hashtags on every platform. Why do I say use hashtags? Using organic reach. Megan Palmer, a lady that we were just working with MonsterCon, she was getting probably about 1,000 views maybe per video, right, or per post on Instagram, using no hashtags. Say, here, Megan, there you go. There's a new bunch of hashtags, right? She puts them in. Obviously, you need to post the hashtags a minute after posting your post, especially if it's video, but in general, a post, you need to post them straight away so that immediately the algorithm on YouTube clocks it up, pushes it to more people so you can get it on the Explorer page. But to come back, why am I saying that? Well, basically, when we gave her the hashtags, the new ones, she was basically hitting 20K per post organically. That's not with any paid ads, guys. No paid ads at all. So those simple things. Think of my head here, the search bar is, look, there's a square. You type into Google, hashtag YouTube, for example, right? You hit enter. What happens? That will shoot out because YouTube's a big platform. It'll pull back YouTube to the first page, obviously. But let's say you had hashtag how to bake a chocolate cake, right? There might not be many people using how to bake a chocolate cake. You type it into the search bar on Google, boom, you hit enter. Think of my head having fishing lines with hooks on the end of them. Hooks. The minute you hit enter, that shoots out. It pulls those hashtags from everywhere those hashtags are. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, Twitter, wherever. It pulls it back, Medium. It doesn't matter, whatever platform, right? LinkedIn. And yes, hashtags matter. The minute you hit enter, it pulls all that information, boom, straight onto the first page of Google. And believe it or not, I have seen people who were not known at all. They had a very unique name and they just happened to use their name and the hashtags all the time. Within a week and a half, they were ranking #1 in the top golden triangle on Google. So they're ranking #1 or 2 or 3 around there, and basically dominating for every single video that's popping up on Google. So when you type in, let's say hashtag how do I bake a chocolate cake, boom, pulls it back to the first page, or you have that unique name, boom, their videos are all ranking there. That generally takes a long while to do if your name is saturated, okay? So that's what the importance of hashtags, using hashtags. Use them on Facebook as well. So when people say, oh, it just doesn't look sexy when I put them under the comments, it looks like shit. Well, it looks like shit because you're putting it in like shit. You're putting them all arseways. What you should be doing is putting them in a nice way, but use the max amount of hashtags. You can use 4 or 5 comments full of hashtags under one post on Facebook. It will not do anything. It'll still rank for those hashtags. If you don't believe me, go and try it. Go and try it. Put in 5 different sets of hashtags under your Facebook post and make sure that the post is being able to be searched by everyone. When you do that, go and check those hashtags and I guarantee you that you will see that you are ranking for those hashtags. Guaranteed, okay? Unless something magical pops out of the sky and changes overnight, that still works, right? Are you utilizing SEO on Instagram? Are you utilizing it? What do I mean? Oh, but SEO doesn't work on YouTube or on Instagram. Of course, SEO works on Instagram. That's how it works. You use the hashtags in the comments, but you also use the bar above your name, right? So you have an at handle. So at how do I bake a chocolate cake, for example, that's your name, okay? Or at Kaz, or at Alexander Jansced, or at Vinny Costello is watching, so at Vinny Costello, whatever your name is, yeah, that's there. But the bar above it, that's the SEO on Instagram. So I'll give you an example very, very quickly. I had a Polish teacher. She told me, she was like, hey, I'm not really ranking on Instagram. I said, well, is your name Polish teacher? She's like, no, my name is my name. I said, no. Your name is your handle, but then go above that and put in Polish teacher. She put in Polish teacher. She started ranking number 2 in the world for Polish teacher. She got so many click-throughs from that and so many bookings from that one change, she didn't even have to run any ads, right? So people, think organic. If you are somebody who does not have the money, does not have the time, number one, right? If you don't have the money and the only way you can grow is organically, then use the tips I'm giving you right now. So use those tips and you will get reach, right? If you're looking for clients and you're a coach or someone else like that, and you don't have an army of DM people, so direct message people on Instagram, if you don't have somebody or people like that, then if you have the money, hire them. But if you don't have the money, then do cold DMs all day long. What do I mean by that? Set up about 5 different accounts and start DMing. You can DM 23 times per hour, right? So then you wait a half an hour or an hour. So you probably get away with, realistically, I said 23 times an hour. You're probably going to get away with, I want to say 60 to 70 DMs a day per account. 5 accounts, 5 sevens, if I'm correct, 35, right? So that's 350 DMs that you're sending a day yourself. That will bring you a lot of leads. Do not give up, keep going, and you will get those leads if your niche is not saturated. If your niche is saturated, you're in trouble. Move on to the next niche, or move on to another place or somewhere where you think that you're going to be messaging from. I'll tell you a story. A few years ago, that's the only thing I had. The only thing I had was the cold DM on Instagram. I was selling all day long out of that DM. I was messaging probably off about 10 different accounts, maybe 11 or 12 at that time. And I was messaging roughly, and this is no joke, I'm not actually lying, I'm serious. And actually Daniel Maxwini would tell you that story, that I was literally DMing all day long because I didn't have anything to do. That's the only thing I could do to get clients. And I did that. I was probably pushing out about 500 to 600 DMs per day, right? Gary Vaynerchuk will say the same thing. He's saying, if you're not getting an account shut down every day, you're doing something wrong, right? I don't recommend that you do that, go getting an account shut down every day. What I do recommend is you figure out how many you can send, and then I recommend that you do that. So don't take my advice for it, go and learn and do and see. Now, everything, the cats are still flying around here. So the reason I wanted to jump on live is basically because just on Facebook here, doing this live, wanted to give you some valuable information. So those of you who start to see me over time, who start to follow and stuff like that, be sure to message if you need help with your social media, if you need help with, like I said, organic SEO. So one of the things, organic SEO, basically YouTube videos, Instagram videos, video editing, funnels, Facebook Live, YouTube Live management, Twitter, everything, LinkedIn, all that stuff. Anything that you need help with that's social media related, contact me. I will, put you through, give you a booking for MonsterCon. We can get on a call, have a chat, and then just give you a strategy, give you a lot of information to help you. And then basically, if you want to go ahead and take a service, that's awesome. If you don't, then you don't have to. At least you leave the call with a lot of value for yourself. And the cats are still flying around my head. You might think I'm crazy. I am kind of, but I'm very smart crazy. And that's very important because you have to have fun, right? Why else would I be sitting here talking to you about this stuff if I didn't have passion about it, number one. But number two, there's cats flying around my head, which is awesome, and I like it. So other than that, why would you, and I'll probably finish this live in a second, why would you want to be using, another thing is, why would you want to be using YouTube video right now, right? Because video is key, right? You can write blogs all day long, that's wonderful. You want to be using video as much and as often as you can, because that's how people connect with you. That's how they know you. That's how they say, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, interesting information. They're either going to like you or they're not. Don't think about the numbers. Forget the numbers. You don't care about that, right? Ego cares about numbers. You don't need numbers. I know people with millions of followers, millions, And I know people with millions of followers who have friends with millions of followers, and they say to me, why do I have all the million followers? It doesn't make a difference. Why doesn't it make a difference? Because unless they're getting traction and unless those people have money, those people with the million followers or 2 million or 10 million followers are broke as fuck. That's how it is. They tell me themselves, and they come to us at MonsterCon for help, and they say, I have all these million followers, but I don't know what to do with them. Because they're not real followers, because they don't have money. They've been come from, and no offense to different countries, they're targeted from countries that are not high income countries. They're targeted with targeting that's out in space, like these cats flying around the place, and that's not proper targeting, so they can't be helped. They can't get any reach there. That's why they come to MonsterCon and they ask, okay, what can we do? We generally say influencer, swipe up ads, making sure that you, number one, have a product or a service that is good and is really, really valuable to the person, and then targeting those people exactly on that. If you're doing Facebook ads, you want to make sure you have 10 or 15 different ad sets, 25 ad sets, whatever. You want to be making sure that every day you're cutting them and funneling the money into the one that works, because if you don't do that, then you're screwed. You're going to lose. Facebook will spend your money. I'm on the Facebook platform, but Facebook will tell you that themselves. They'll spend your money. Why? Because that's what... They're a business. Facebook is a business too. Facebook is awesome. I love Facebook. To a degree, I love it. But, you know, they're a business too, right? So you need to understand all these different things. And the cat just passed my head again. Hope this has been informative to you. Haven't even gone into Google ads and YouTube ads and all that stuff yet. What I will say, however, is a beautiful thing is targeting people. And I'm going to give you one major tip right here for any coaches that are watching, or any brands, or any people that, you know, in time are watching this. Target people on your own videos on YouTube. Association is key, right? I'll give you an example of this. Mike Maloney at Gold Silver, right? Mike Maloney, and there's another guy who sells silver. I don't know who he is. Look, I invest in a lot of stuff, so basically I watch a lot of channels like that. But Mike Maloney, goldsilver.com, right? Mike will target you on his video with his own YouTube ad. So if you're a coach or whatever, if you look at different people like Bob Proctor, does not target, as far as I know. He may, I haven't seen it yet, target his own videos with his own ads, right? Maybe he does, I don't know. So he didn't before, maybe he might be doing it now. But many coaches and stuff like that are targeting Tony Robbins and targeting all these people and wasting so much money on Google ads because, number one, they don't have a product that can convert, you know, and the product's just not good. It's just not up to standard. And the other thing is they're targeting all these people on different people's video where they should be targeting them on their own video. Because if I watch your video, then I'm already associated with you. I'm already associated with you. And I will buy from you all day long. If I like your content, I'm buying from you. Look at Russell Brunson. Look, you know, you see ClickFunnels, right? He's there. I'll give you a free book. I'll give you another free thing. Give you another free thing. The value in those books is awesome. You want to buy ClickFunnels straight away. He'll sell all day long, right? When you try to get out of it, he downsells you. All you got to do is learn this stuff, right? If you don't know how to do this stuff, we do have also, and comment below this video if you want, we do have a course where we train people how to do this stuff as well. So again, this is not a sales pitch, not in this particular video. I will be doing different videos with sales pitches, obviously, because I like selling. But this is primarily a video for value, so give you a lot of value. And the reason that we started this as well is to change lives, and that might sound cheesy or corny or, oh, he's trying to change lives. No, we see so many people whose social media is in pieces, right? You know, this name here, that name there, another name here, a brand thing there, 5 different images, lots of different colors, like these cats flying around the screen. How is somebody who comes to your Facebook going to actually know what you even do? By the way, don't judge my Facebook because I've just set it up. So don't judge that. What you should have is, and I run multiple Facebook accounts, and we do at MonsterCon for many, many people. What you should have is immediately your Facebook profile should be your business, right? If you're not on there to look for cats, like these wonderful cats around here, if you're not looking for cats or posting pictures of cats, right? And if it's a business that you're on Facebook for, then your profile picture needs to be your business. Immediately on the left-hand side, you need to have those links in there, whether they're Bitly links. I wouldn't go with Bitly, I would go with Rebrandly, and I would be putting links there that are taking them directly where I want them to go. I would be going live I wouldn't say you have to go live an awful lot on Facebook. I would say, go YouTube live, but learn how to do it properly, correctly. Use Instagram TV live and repurpose your content over and 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 over again. And use the audio, use transcripts, use all of that stuff. So I've given you enough information. I've given you enough value for this one. Hope that you take away a lot from it. Hope you're having an awesome day. Look forward to chatting again soon. This has been the cat evening out in space with Kaz and the cats. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you're having a great day. That's it. Chat soon. See you in the next one. A reference for me to look back on in the future. And also, obviously, I hope it helps you in some way, shape, or form as well. So today, just thinking about what I'm doing in relation to the multiple streams of revenue that I'm creating, the multiple systems that I'm putting in place to be able to sustain the businesses that I run as a whole, and to be creating, or to be able to create, and to create blueprints that allow you to replicate those systems. So blueprints, if you're building a house, you're going to have drawings, right? At the start, you're going to have an architect. You're going to have an idea, right? Then you're going to have certain vision of that in your head. And then you're going to talk about that. And then you're going to find an architect and probably go back and forth with them multiple times on, or multiple architects, engineers, structural engineers, all of the people that you would need to make that vision come true, but they would all be working off one thing, which is the blueprint, right? So they'd be working off a blueprint of how things should operate. They will have learned specific skill sets in their education, or through their experience, and education and through their experience, they'll have learned all of these different things that are going to help you to be able to build that house or build whatever you want to build. Now, how does this apply to business? How does this apply to building multiple streams of revenue for yourself? Well, as you think about doing something, you may have specific knowledge on something, or you may be the thinker. You may be the visionary, the one who says, hey, I've got this idea. I know what the end results looks like. I kind of know how to get there, but I don't have the skill sets needed in order to get there. And so in this situation, obviously, using people with specific skill sets is going to advance you much quicker, and therefore you're going to get to the destination that you want to much quicker. What do I mean by that? Well, if you don't have certain knowledge, because knowledge is power, then you're losing. If you don't take advantage of certain systems, then you're losing. If you don't have the blueprints, you are losing. But how do you win? That is by surrounding yourself with people, you've heard this millions of times, people who are already where you want to be. Or people who have already done what you set out, or what you're setting out, or what you want to do. So surrounding yourself with those people. Now, that's one way, right? But the blueprints, and this is what it's kind of going to be about this video, the blueprints is, as I was thinking about our businesses and the systems that we have in place today, and we were tweaking certain stuff, right? And what we came up with was very simple, right? Okay, this needs to be tweaked, that needs to be tweaked, but wait, we don't have certain knowledge, because nobody knows everything, right? We don't have certain knowledge in these spaces. Okay, what are we going to do? First, identifying the problem, figuring out, okay, who can help us with that? And then rapid action, finding those people and implementing them as quickly as possible within the business structure, right? And so what that allowed you to do is you basically are slotting these pieces in like a jigsaw puzzle that then enables your foundation to be much more solid, right? So I think of it, can't even talk today. I think about it as weaving strands right? And the more strands you weave, let's say if it's hemp, the more strands you weave, the stronger the rope is going to get. It's the same thing as implementing these systems and putting them in place and building off this blueprint. Yeah, you can have a blueprint, but if you don't have those people in place to help you, you know, sustain that blueprint and build from that blueprint and work along with you over time and change the, maybe the, you know, the drawings on the blueprint, or, you know, changing each little angle, stuff like that, then that's an issue, right? So you need to have those things in place. And so I thought, why not, while I was thinking about this, do a video on it, because it's really, really important. So for me, obviously the building of Monster Kong is extremely important, but the taking myself out of it is seriously important. So working on your business, not in your business, right? So when you work in your business, which I did for years, right, you run into trouble. And the issues you run into is it's unscalable. It's not scalable. You are one person. But when you put the systems in place, like for instance, initially when we had no WhatsApp chats in place, we had no friends, we had no friends went as well. So-called friends went by the wayside. But anyway, you know, when we had no WhatsApp chats in place, when we had no systems, when we didn't use Slack, when we didn't use any form of, you know, like autoresponders, when we didn't use all of these things that are really, really important, like for cold calling and, you know, all of that stuff. We didn't have any of these things. It was impossible for us to scale, but we also didn't have the knowledge around that. So what happened was we were forced through pain to grow very, very quickly. And then we started figuring out things really quick. So one of the things we started figuring out was implement stuff rapidly. So the minute you see a problem, identify it, okay, how do I solve it? Boom. And then solve it that moment. Not like, oh, I'll solve it in 4 days' time. No, like solve it right now. And so that allowed us to very, very quickly grow. Now putting those systems in place and then tweaking them to where they run on their own, right? So I think of it as one big circle. Then within that circle, they're all smaller circles. It's almost like the clock, you know, analogy where the clock is going around and all the different small wheels are moving in it, the cogs or whatever in the gears, whatever you want to think about it as. They're all moving at different speeds and circles and all of that, but they're all integrating together in one to make that wheel go round. That is how it works. And that is how we scaled very, very quickly. So today I was sitting back and I was thinking, okay, there are certain parts of the business that aren't running as smoothly as I'd like them to be running. What do I need to do immediately? Okay, identify the problem, find those people, bring them in, test them out, check it out, tweak it, scale it, and then fit them into the other cogs that are moving so that the whole wheel moves as one. And that is where you win. And then the best thing is after that, you try and remove yourself out of that totally so that the whole thing is running, right? And so we are out of a lot of our business. Obviously, it would be stupid if we weren't looking at the things that go on in it, right? So you obviously have to oversee some stuff, but putting a C, you know, basically, what would I say? Like, you can be CEO, but like, you should still have, you know, managers there. You should still have people helping and looking at that stuff daily, because if you don't, you're going to lose long term. And so that's kind of what I was thinking about today. So the moral of the story with this one is, you know, initially we started out with nothing, then we gained the knowledge, then we implemented that knowledge, we did that stuff, we failed, falling forwards, you know, falling backwards, falling sideways, whatever. We stacked that knowledge. Compound stacking of knowledge created immense value through what we now knew, right? The knowledge we had, which we were able to sell, but then we couldn't scale that. So then we needed to bring people in, train them, right? And then basically from there, scale them up, and then the next part and the next part and the next part. And then what happens is eventually all these parts are moving. It's moving as one unit, and it's very, very productive, right? And it's producing something. What do you do then? Replicate it. Replicate it and do the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. We couldn't scale Monster Kong. What do? Created a virtual assistant business, right, called hireavirtualassistantrightnow.com, brought in the virtual assistants, started using them within our own business. That worked so well. We translated that out, basically made it its own business, and used it for Monster Kong to help scale Monster Kong, but at the same time sold the services on the opposite side. So another example, YouTube Shorts, for example, right? Right now, we're like, yeah, it took us a while to get into it. We weren't really interested in it. Then we see the power of it. The difference is we're very, very quick to be able to scale that because we understand SEO, right? Search engine optimization. So in our case, someone else that was doing shorts, you know, they're not getting any hits. They might get 1,000. In our case, the businesses then we work for, we implement the shorts with the search engine optimization, which now gets them thousands and thousands of views. So being able to take something that you have, looking at something that's already being done and say, hey, okay, this is a tool. Shorts are a tool. Facebook is a tool. Instagram is a tool. YouTube is a tool. These are all tools just to grow your business. They're not your business in and of itself. No, they're just tools. So leveraging those tools. Same way with people. Leverage the people. Same way with network. Leverage the network. Connect. Leverage. Give value. Leverage other people's networks. You know, partnerships. Form partnerships, not just, hey, I'm going to do it on my own. No, like form these partnerships. Meet these people. Give them value. Hey, we could work on this and this. Great. You've got a team of people who already understand this and this. Fantastic. They fit really, really well with the people that we already have that understand this and this and this. Fantastic. Boom. You pull both of those circles into another circle. That's now moving, producing for you, bringing income. Boom, boom, boom. Take the income, putting it back into the business. Recycling. Boom, boom, boom. Next wheel spinning. Get your wheels spinning. Get your wheels spinning. They will start working for you. Send your dollars, your euros, your Bitcoin, your yen, whatever currency you operate in, send them out to work for you. Put them into your business, get them working, take your money out, then put it into investments, right? One here, one here, one here, one here, one here. Get them spinning. Get them spinning you. Get them working for you. Understand what you're doing. Obviously, don't get wrecked, right? If you're in crypto, different stuff like that, you've got to understand, you know, market cycles, market terminology. You can never, you know, obviously charts, all of that stuff. You're never going to be able to fully call the top, but the point is that be prepared. Take profits on the way up. Don't get destroyed. Don't be like little Jimmy getting wrecked in the wind, you know. One of my favorite YouTubers, Crypto Kirby, says that often. Little Jimmy, you know, with his $20 stimmy. He thinks that he's gonna, you know, save the world. He's gonna become a billionaire. No, these are all tools. Crypto is a tool. Markets are tools. These are all tools for you to recycle your money. Now, the best part of this is what I love. Create the multiple streams of income, bring it back in, and then give. Make sure that you're able to give. If you can't give, what's the point in doing it, right? If you can't relax, what's the point in running businesses where you're running yourself into the ground? Take time, relax, think, work smarter, not harder. And all of these things together enable you to win long term, right? Really, it's all about happiness, right? You've got to be happy. If you're running multiple businesses and you're not happy, what's the point in running the multiple businesses? It's a waste of time. Waste of time, waste of energy, waste of effort. I've done it, you know, round the clock, working round the clock, and then nothing. Get nothing, not happy, depressed, burnt out, burnt up, burnt to cinders, like they say in Ireland. So like all of these things are really, really important for you to know. How do you recycle your money? You know, like move your business to a country that treats you better, right? If you're getting slammed in taxes somewhere, move it somewhere else. Figure out that system. The US system is a beautiful system, you know. Get your business running in an LLC. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. What you do after that, basically, you know, obviously you write off all your stuff. At the end of the year, what's left over, you're paying in taxes. Create a 501c3 nonprofit. Create a charity. Funnel the money into the charity. Now use the charity to do good work. Do you understand? So knowledge is power. I didn't know any of this stuff starting out, you know, nothing, zero. Yet, I was able to do it. Why? Because I had persistence, hard work, dedication, non-stop. The only thing I could think about, it's like when you want it more than you want to breathe, you're going to make it. When you want it that bad, not a person on this planet, nothing will stop you. Why? Because you are unstoppable. You are somebody who wants something. It's in your head, the determination is there, and you will get it. You will fall. There will be many times when you will fall. But you must persist. That has been a quick rundown of what's been in my head so that I can look back on it in time. You know, and That's pretty much it. They're my thoughts for today. I wish you well. If you're someone starting out, if you're someone that doesn't know any of, anything about online business, anything about things that you want to do, know this, that I had nothing and I was able to start with nothing, and I was able to do something by learning the knowledge I learned and by implementing that knowledge and by never giving up. So, if you think that, you can't, I assure you that you can. I started out in affiliate marketing, trying to sell stuff for other people. Then I started working for other people. Then I started learning skill sets that produced income for me. Then I started continuing to invest that into myself through courses, through this, through that, all of these things, learning as I went, enjoying the journey. If you're not enjoying your journey, why are you doing it? Right? And that could almost contradict my path that I took, because I did not enjoy the journey for a long, long time. I was like, grind, do this, grind. But grinding eventually grinds you into the ground, right? So you have to be enjoying it. So, look at what's working in your business. Look at what skill sets you have, that you could use, because I guarantee you that most people watching this video, if not all, have skill sets or have talents and abilities that they just have not cultivated yet within themselves, right? You could be a really good artist, right? But if you haven't practiced, what are you going to do? What are you going to sell? You might say, oh, I don't want to sell my paintings, but maybe it's your duty and your obligation to paint because that's what you were called to do, yet you deny it all the time. And maybe that very thing that's within you, that when you translate it in through the work in your hands, you translate it into a piece of art and you show it to someone, they're like, I want to buy it. I'll buy it for 20 grand. There is your answer, And so anyway, all of these things, like, we have the abilities, we have the talents within us. If we don't have those specific ones to help us get to the goal that we want to get to, then we can find people that have those skill sets and those abilities, and then we can leverage them within our business, within our projects, within our, whatever it is we want to do. We can leverage them, and then we can produce what is in the vision in your mind. But you also have to know that if it's in here, if you see it in your mind, you will hold it in your hand, right? Bob Proctor always says that. If you see it in your mind, you will hold it in your hand. You first see the vision in your head, then you take action upon that massively, and you then walk into it, right? I'm going to quote Conor McGregor here actually as well. So when he started out, right, he was on social welfare and, whatever, not a lot of money, right? And his father telling him that, hey, you gotta, you should get a job, you should stay plumbing. And he's like, I don't like that. That's not what I want to do. Because the thing inside him that was burning him from the inside out was telling him, Conor, you are not a plumber, you are a fighter. This is what you're supposed to do. This is your path. And so he followed that. Anybody who said anything different, he did not listen to. He even was so much in that vision that he lived in that vision, no matter what the outside circumstances said around him. That is where you must live. That is where you must live. Live in that vision. Live in the new house mentally until it takes shape or form around you physically. It says it in The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. Live in the new house mentally until it takes shape or form around you physically. The earth and everything in it, the clouds, everything, is plastic to your thought. Who said that? Emmett Fox. Emmett Fox said that in Sermon on the Mount. Start reading this stuff. Start educating yourself. Start getting happy. The happier you become. Take a chance in life. The happier you become, the happier you become, right? Take chances in life. Don't sit back and be like, if you do, that's your fault. Know that it is your fault. It is nobody else's fault except your fault, right? Yes, there are certain things that can hinder you doing certain things, but if you're not doing it, then you're not doing it. If you're not persisting, then you're not persisting. If you're not taking action, then you're not taking action. And you can go on social media and you can look at this and that person has this, and look at the person across the road and they've got a great house and they've got a great life. Most people, right, are not happy. Walking around the place, they're not happy. They put on a front on the outside, oh, I'm very happy, but they're not happy. Why not just try and get happy? Try and pick one or two things today and say, okay, I'm going to take this thing, and for the next month, I'm going to do this. For the next 6 months, commit. Have a commitment for the next 6 months to say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to eat better. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to build a business. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. So I'm going to spend, as many hours a day as I can learning. How do I get this? How do I set up this LLC? How do I set up this charity? Is there a point in me setting up this charity in this country? Is it better to do it here? Who can I get who knows about that? Who has done that? Who can help me do this? All of these things you have to do if you want to get somewhere. Do you want to sit 10 years time, 20 years time from now and look back and say, hey, I didn't do that. I should have done that. And then you look around at people who were also in the same position you were, but they took action and they built a multi-billion-dollar business. Or it doesn't have to be a multi-billion-dollar business. Or they got happy. They got free. They're no longer stuck in the 9 to 5, right? They've got a nice car, or they've got a camper van that they now travel around the world. They've created some freedom. They maybe learned how to do some design online. They just use their camper van, they travel around and they do their design. They're not millionaires, but they're seriously happy. It's not about the money, it's about being happy. All the money in the world, and you've heard it multiple times, all the money in the world will not solve your problems. It can make stuff easier, 100%, right? I'd rather have it than not have it, but at the same time, happiness, health. You can walk, talk, speak, see, and hear today. Health. Your health is your wealth. Another cliche. Oh, your health is your wealth. It is. It is. If you can't walk today, if you can't see, that's a problem, right? There are things that we take for granted. There are things that I hope with this message to give to you that you don't take for granted. Thank God for your health every day. If you don't believe in God, I don't know, whatever. I don't know, right? But for me, I thank God every day for my health. I thank God for my life. I thank God that I'm able to walk, speak, see, and hear. Walk, talk, speak, see, and hear. I thank God that He gave me the persistence to move forward, right? To keep going. And obviously there's some part on you as well. God's not going to do everything for you, right? No one's going to do. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's on you. And so if you're complaining today, if you're thinking about, this guy in this camera right here is ranting and talking a load of shit, then that's okay too. I invite you to skip along, move along. This message obviously doesn't resonate with you yet, and that's okay. That is okay. But if it does resonate with you, then take action. Build, go, do, see, fuck up, fail, try. At least you tried, right? At least you then tried. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my rant over for this afternoon, thinking about all of the things that, have happened and stuff like that. I'll continue to put systems in place. I'll continue to grind. I'll continue to do that till the day that I die. Why? Because I love it. Discipline is, and this is something I was scanning through Instagram recently, and Mike Tyson had a thing with Joe Rogan there, on the podcast or whatever, and he said, Joe said, so what's discipline mean to you? And Mike said to him, discipline is doing what you hate, but doing it like you love it, right? So discipline is doing what you hate daily, every second, every minute of every day, but doing it like you love it. Now, that doesn't mean that you should just continue in that cycle. No, it means that you got to get out and figure out other things as well. But if you're in a job today and that job's not suiting you, and you know that it's not suiting you, and you know that it's a dead-end job, get out of the job. Go do something else. Go find something that you hate to do, but you know it's going to make you better, and do that, even though you hate it like you love it. What's going to happen then is you're going to have a breakthrough. You're going to have a breakthrough. Eventually, it's the same as a market crash and a market cycle. It retests, and eventually, boom, it breaks through, right? It breaks out. And it comes back down, it does another little thing, and boom, it breaks out again. Then it comes back down, it does another little thing. It's like life, right? We break through, we hit a plateau, we fall down a bit, boom, we break through again. We might hit some resistance, we come back down, boom, we break through it again. You're breaking through. New level, new devil. That's what they say in recovery, right? New level, new devil. You're leveling up. Like Super Mario. Ba-bing, ba-bing, ba-bing. Super Mario. You're leveling up, getting to the next level. Your emotional stuff, the next layer of the onion, you're peeling back. You're dealing with the shit in your life. You're dealing with the stuff from your childhood or whatever. Next layer of the onion. Next layer of the onion. Next layer of the onion. It unfolds. Life unfolds. You become happy. You get free. And then you go, as well, along with doing that, help other people. help them. Because without doing that, you have nothing. You're not being of service. Service is key. Doing all of these things, having multifaceted life, right? Or if you're in recovery or something like that, a multifaceted recovery, not just one area, every area, all encompassing, spiritually, physically, and emotionally, business, this, that, all of the things together. And if you can get them all right in one go, great. But there's always going to be one area that you need to work on more. That is it. I wish you well. Much love, peace, and light. Until the next one. And this evening from a hotel room in Poland, I want to talk to you about taking time for yourself, right? The importance of taking time for yourself. So I'm going to be doing a lot of content. The other channel I shut down a while back, and this is going to be kind of more in relation to, I guess, relationships with oneself, spirituality, entrepreneurship in general, that type of stuff. Also have a podcast coming pretty soon as well. And basically the importance of taking time for you. So a couple of things I learned recently. One person I met not so long ago, they had a real impact, a real influence on my life. And we tend to have, where people come into our paths and into our lives for certain reasons at certain times. And some of them take you on a trajectory or a path, different path, right? So you could be going this way, and the next thing you meet someone, and then now you're going on a completely different trajectory, different path. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. In this case, it's been very good for me, and it has shown me a different way of life. Like, so this person, that I met, was starting to chat about all these different things, and diet and nutrition and all of these things that as an entrepreneur, I guess some people do it, right? Some people really focus on their diet and really focus on their health and their exercise and all of that stuff. I neglected it for many, many years. So I was grinding for 6 years solid, where, I'm like, okay, gonna make a lot of money, gonna build a business. And for sure did with MonsterCon, and worked, many, many, many hours, in the day and night and round the clock. And so it gets to a point where you hit a point and you kind of, and you hear this a lot, burning out, right? Where it's like, okay, I'm burnt out. I don't want to do anything. You wake up in the morning, you're like, I just don't want to do it anymore. And for sure, I was at that point where I'm like, I don't want to do it anymore. And this person came into my life at a certain time. I meet them, I start chatting, and they guide me in a specific way. And God is very interesting in relation to how he puts people in your path. And I'll also talk about God on this channel as well in relation to, how I connect with God and how I believe that God brings people into your path for a reason at specific allocated times. And some people stay a short time, some people stay a long time. And it's really about finding your direction, your way, and actually travel your own path is all about that as well. The channel, like spirituality, relationships, entrepreneurship, all of that stuff. But just going back to really quickly, I'm going to be doing a video pretty much every day, documenting this season of my life, this period of transition, if you want to call it, because I'm transitioning out of certain stuff into different stuff. And I feel it very important to document that stuff. So one of the things will be the diet that I've switched up probably around 2 weeks ago, roughly. Before that, I was eating a lot of bread, a lot of rubbish, just really, really bad. I was going to sleep way too late. Some people, again, this will differ for some people. You can go to bed at whatever time you want, get up whatever time you want, listen to your body. I don't know. Personally, I'm just saying I was going to bed way too late, and, eating just rubbish, and then fasting for a period of time, which is also good and has its benefits. But, just eating the wrong things at the wrong time, etc., etc. So my experience with that has been, going from that and transitioning into, taking supplements like spirulina, green stuff, green smoothies, but also just eating specific things like nuts, dates, instead of, so healthier choices, right? Instead of hitting McDonald's, or instead of hitting, and I was vegetarian for years, and also vegan. I'm not right now, currently, whatever you want to call it, flexitarian, or I don't know. I eat meat sometimes if I feel my body needs it. But what I'm getting at is that the introduction of these supplements and the different things, and by the way, I'm not selling you any supplements, I'm just saying
the introductions of these new nutrients into the diet has definitely made a massive difference to the way I'm productive, the way I'm feeling, much happier, feel much healthier, feel much more refreshed, energized in a way. And it's like, even a funny one is like, even the crystal, right? I was given this crystal and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll wear the crystal. So I don't know, right? We don't always know what's best for us, but I think connecting with God and knowing that, okay, I'm connecting to myself, I'm connecting to source, I'm connecting to the divine love light that resides within, right? So for me, I believe God is within us, right? I believe God is within me, and I believe that God is within every human being on this planet. And within yoga, when you say namaste, I bow to the God in you. I recognize the light in you, I recognize the divine in you, and you recognize the divine in me. That is, for me, before I ever knew about yoga, before I ever knew about anything about that, I always knew that God was within me, right? It was only just for me to access that and tap that. And, it got me studying like Yogananda and, a lot of Hinduism, a lot of Hindu stuff, a lot of Hindu saints, which I'll get into in various other videos. The point being with that is like when you're connected to God, God brings people into your path and you feel, and if you're connected good enough to the divine love light that resides within, I believe that he puts people into your path and you recognize those people. So God's always putting people in your path, but the question is, do you recognize that they are there and that they came for a certain reason and that he brought them, right, for a certain reason? You may also say that like the devil or whatever brings people your way. Yeah, for sure, right? So there's good and evil, there's good and bad. Again, this channel is going to be about a lot of that stuff, and I'm going to be documenting every single day. Maybe it's from a hotel room like this, maybe it's from a bus, maybe it's from a car. I'm thinking about getting a van, actually, like a camper van. I might do that. I don't know. Currently, I'm just cruising, jumping from hotel to hotel at this point in time within Poland, and it's very interesting. And just learning more about life, right, and about entrepreneurship, and built the company probably like 4 years ago now. So Monster Kong Marketing, it's doing very well. Link in the bio if you want to check it out. And we do a whole bunch of stuff. And, we built that and we build it and we do that and we grow it and we do marketing. We do build NFT projects and we do a whole lot of stuff in relation to brand NFTs and building out the projects and growing the Discord group and all of that stuff. But what gets very interesting is that up until recently, like I said, I was hitting a point where it's like, pushing, and then you tend to burn out, right? So my experience with that is, my suggestions, or if I can help you in any way, would be that try and monitor it for yourself. If you're feeling too tired, take time out. I'm not saying like take months and months off. I'm not saying that at all. For me, I work best in the masculine, let's say, if you want to call it that way. I push, I grind, and then generally I come to a halt, right? So I do a whole bunch of stuff. I can work hours upon hours, and then I hit a point where I'm like, right, now I need to take some time, now I need to take a break. And that's how I work. That might be not how you work, right? You might work where you get up, and you could be a woman, right, watching this, or you could be a man watching this, and you could be in your feminine, right? You could be, I'm in my flow state, I'm doing all of this thing, and to me, that's like bonkers, right? I don't like it. It doesn't fit with me, but that's because I'm always in the masculine, and I'm in that state where I like to drive, push, do, and then I relax, right? But then there can come a point where you push too much, and you're like, oh, okay, so what I want to get into that what I want to talk about is the balance aspect. So having balance and doing what feels best for you. So for me, what feels best a lot of the time is to push, and then I take a good break, right? Tim Ferriss actually speaks about that as well, or he did in the past. I listened to one of his podcasts, and he was saying that, like, he pushed. They were asking Tim about, it'd be great to spend a week or a day with you. And he said, no, not really, like, I don't really do anything, right? Not all of the time. He said, yeah, you could be with me and I do a whole bunch of stuff, but then I take time out. I might be gone for a month or whatever. And that's kind of this transitionary period where I am at right now, with the whole supplement thing and the crystals and, and all of this stuff, is like, I pushed so much that now I'm relaxing, but I'm also working at the same time. So I guess this video is about balance too, right? And it's like all of those things. So I'm going to be documenting my journey, what I'm doing, you know, and then just explaining that, okay, the balance aspect, the diet aspect, the work aspect, the entrepreneurship aspect, the relationship aspect, you know, burning out or getting to a point where you're like, oh, I just don't want to do it anymore. That's not helpful for anyone, right? That will affect your business. It will affect your mental state, your mental health, your everything, right? For me, it was very much so where my stomach would be messed up, right? You have anxiety, panic attacks, fear, all of these things that happen from not looking after the spiritual side of stuff. And for me, it's like, okay, connecting with God daily, really having that solid spiritual foundation, that practice. And then from there, from that point, saying, okay, right, maybe you're not the person who gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning, or, you know, like, yeah, you might not get up. You might not be like Jocko Willink, right, where it's like 4:30 every morning, or Robin Sharma, like, I think it's the 5 a.m. club, right? Everyone's up early, they're doing all of that stuff. Fantastic. Your body might not be adapted to that. You might be someone that, like, you go, I don't know, from like 12 in the day until 2 in the morning. And I say to you, embrace that. If that's what works for you, embrace it. Because for me, it's like, I work randomly. So it's like, I'll get up, feel like it, and I have set things I have to do during the day. And then I'll hit those times where I do that. Or I work around the clock, right? So everybody's different. The reason I'm making this video, once again, is to document every single day how I'm feeling, what I'm doing. And for sure, the supplements have helped a lot, like the spirulina and the ashwagandha and like the magnesium and all of this stuff that I was lacking in my body. Saunas as well. Wow. I've been doing cold therapy for years, right? Where I just get in and do the Wim Hof method, the showers, the freezing showers every day. But lately, I hadn't done it in years, I'm gone back into the sauna again, right? So I'm getting a sauna every couple of days, sweating the toxins out, taking the supplements, walking a lot more. I want to get back into running and jiu-jitsu as well soon. Maybe some Thai boxing as well. Things like that I used to do that I neglected and haven't done in a while. The gym, for now, it's literally like just push-ups in a hotel room, or getting out, walking, getting into nature, grounding, doing all of these things. So I've mentioned a lot of things in this video right now, like as in, you know, grounding, meditation, cold showers, all of these things. And all of those things play a part. And I guess the conclusion of this is all of those things play a part into your overall mental health, your well-being, your productivity. I can't even talk this evening. Productivity in your work and your job and your relationships and everything. Because I've pushed very hard over the years as well, and messed up relationships and, you know, just a lot of stuff. And it's like you learn lessons, and I'm like, okay, why am I not putting this out in video format? And so that's what I'm doing right now, right? I'm just going to put these videos out. The imposter syndrome says, why would you be, who do you think you are? You don't have knowledge around that stuff. You don't have this, you don't have that. No, I have a lot of knowledge. I have a lot of experience gained, a lot of value to give. And in relation to business, relationships, finance, all of those things, crypto, everything. So I'm just going to be like, boom, put it out there, pour it out. And if it helps you, great. I don't want any money for that. I don't want anything. I just want to get a message to you to say, like, you know, if I can pass something on, then great. We'll speak about everything from like semen retention to, you know, to having sex every day, to being completely celibate, right? I had a period where I was celibate for 2.5 years, right? And on and off at different times. I was studying to be a friar, pretty much. So all of these different things. So celibacy. And the other side of that, where you're fucking like a rabbit, you know? Like, so all of these things, and then it's a balance, right? You know, addiction, recovery, right? All of these things that I've gone through, like me being an addict, for years, a recovering addict, right? So 12 years sober right now, you know, no alcohol, no drugs, nothing like that. And coming back to that, and at a time, you know, running into the whole sex side of things where it's like, oh my God, you know, too much, too little, not sure, in the middle, great, whatever. And now I'm at a balanced state where it's like, okay, it's great. I'm, you know, having a good time, relaxing, and also the semen retention side of it, which a good friend of mine, Nakula Das, I'll actually link some of his stuff below this video as well. He speaks about, right? And that is very, very important as well. So many topics. This is just a video, like I said, randomly from a hotel room in Poland. And all of these different things I want to bring out. So extract it out of me, pour it out onto camera so that you may take something, take what you want, leave the rest. If you don't like it, that's fine. You know, just click the thumbs down button, move on. If you do like it, click the thumbs up button. And basically, like, subscribe, share, turn on the bell for notifications. I really hope you get something from these videos. I really hope we can network. I am a master networker. I've built a network that spans the entire globe. We cover celebrities, influencers, everything. My network expands far and wide. I am a master networker. Again, affirmations as well, daily, saying those things. I'm a master networker. You know, I'm a multi-billionaire, I'm a philanthropist, I'm this, I'm that. All of the things you want to say so that they stick in the subconscious, right? So that you have direction and focus and energy and drive towards that which you want to accomplish. You should be affirming daily. What else? Other than that, that's pretty much it. So that was it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Like I said, turn on the bell for notifications. I will continue documenting all this week. I'm going to do a video every single day. Get it out on YouTube. Get it out on the other platforms. I want to network with you. If you're interested in NFTs or crypto or YouTube, no one does YouTube live like us. We do live streams 24/7 for businesses. We grow and scale YouTube channels. We're the only company on planet Earth, I want to say, that does it in the way that we do it. We are highly and extremely successful in what we do, and we have a lot of proof of work to back that up. Yeah, and we network, right? We network. So that's what I'm doing with you. If you're watching this video, if you like it, let's network. Comment in the comment section. Hit me up on Instagram. Let's connect. Let's do business together. Let's see if we can create something together, because it's better to be a small part of something big than a big part of something small. I plan on doing a lot of speaking, a lot of different events, stuff like that, and just networking overall. So a whole lot of stuff in this video. Once again, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, turn on the bell for notifications. This has been me, Alexander James, for you, sending you a message. I wish you peace, love, and light. Let's connect, and stay tuned for the next video. Take it easy.